Alright everyone, welcome to Yoga with Emma. So today we're going to be working on our hips a lot, and it's going to be such a chill practice, something that you can just add to the start of your day or at the end of the day before bed, focused on hip openers, and let's get started. So as always, just make sure you have any props you feel like you'll need. If you have tighter hips, blocks will most likely be handy for you, and if you don't have any blocks, then a pillow will do as well, or anything that can just give a little height. Let's get started here, lying down on our backs. Bottoms of feet together, knees open wide, hands resting on your hip bones. And in this place, take a deep breath. Maybe close your eyes and exhale. And just let the weight of your legs gently fall towards the ground. And breathe deeply into the rib cage. Breathe deeply into the belly. Maybe all the way down in towards the hips. Take 3 more breaths here. Good. And gently hug your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a little squeeze. Keep your left leg open as is. And then right hand will hold onto your right foot or ankle, wherever you can get a good grip. Half happy baby. Now be gentle here. Try to stack your right heel directly on top of the right knee. And then allow the right knee to pull down towards the ground. Keep that left leg open. Sometimes it can feel nice to assist that left leg on staying open with the left hand resting on it. So try not to tilt to the right. I know it's a little intense here. Take 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, release that right leg. Bring the right leg all the way over towards the left edge of the mat, just for a super simple twist. And I'm going to let you do your legs however feels nice. You can stack them, you can bring that right leg higher, you can intertwine them, you can extend your left leg, open your right arm to the right. Not here too long. Just take 1 more breath, inhale, and exhale. And then guide yourself back to center. So, feet together, knees wide. Once again, keep your right leg as is this time. Left knee, hug it into the chest. And bring your left hand to hold the ankle or the foot or the big toe, whatever you can really grab here. Stack the heel on top of your knee. And then try to draw the left knee towards the ground. Right hand can rest on right thigh. That little reminder, don't let the body tilt. Keep the hips down evenly. Take an inhale. And exhale, we twist. Bring the left leg over to the right, however you want it to go there. Left arm opens to the left, and turn your head to the left. So notice how that left shoulder, sometimes it can get really tense and it can lift up. Try to relax it down. One more breath. Return back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock and roll up the spine until you come to your seat. Swing your legs back. And bring your knees wide and your toes pointed and together. Send your hips to your heels in a child's pose. Take 2 breaths here. 1 more breath. And keep your knees wide and your big toes touching. Slide forward, hands stay forward. And then lift your feet up, pull your body forward, and try to droop your hips towards the ground. Chest opens up forward. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Maybe pedal out the legs a few times. And then release your right leg, three-legged down dog, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot in between the hands. Lower your left knee down towards the mat. Take a second here, pull the heart forward with an inhale. And then exhale, walk your hands up towards that right thigh. I personally prefer to tuck my left toes, but a lot of people will tell you to untuck them, so I just want you to listen to your knee. And if it feels uncomfortable, then do one or the other, or support it by putting a pillow underneath it. Take an inhale. And exhale, bring your hands down. Send your hips back, Ardha Hanuman, half split. So hips stack on top of the left knee. Now we're going to keep our right toes pointed today. So think about trying to push your right big toe into the ground, really stretching that right leg all the way out. Pull the right hip back, lengthen your torso forward, and exhale, fold it down towards that right leg. Blocks underneath the hands can be such a good assist here if you need it. And then flex your right toes to the sky. Lengthen that right hip back even more. Pull the heart forward and fold again. Exhale. Bend down in towards the right knee. Heel toe your right foot out wider than your right shoulder. Take a deep breath. Inhale here. Hug that right knee into that right shoulder, and then exhale, start to bend your elbows. You can lower your elbows onto your pillow, onto blocks, or onto the ground. Whatever works to get you deepest into your hips here. Two more breaths. And then gently walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck the left toes, lift the back knee, and all you're going to do is come to a side lunge at the back of the mat. We've done this transition before. Turn your left toes to the back corner, plant your foot flat, and very slowly drop your seat towards the ground. Flex your right toes up to the ceiling. And then really pay attention to what's happening here in this left ankle. So much of the time I see rolling and collapsing inwards, and that is terrible for our joints. So keep your foot flat, your pinky toe down, and your glutes engaged so your left knee is rolling to the left. Left hand on the inside of that left thigh, plant it down, and then reach your right bicep up beside your right ear, big stretch. So towards that bent knee. Good, take an inhale. All you're going to do is switch sides. With an exhale, keep your legs exactly as is. Don't let that left knee collapse. Right hand down the inside of the right leg. Left bicep beside the left ear. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, walk your hands towards the back of your mat. Pivot all the way to a pigeon pose facing the back of the mat. So your left foot is already kind of where it should end up. Come to the ball of your right foot and drop your left knee down. Adjust your hips as you need to. You shouldn't really have to from that particular position because I've set us up in such a way. But we want our left knee wider than our left hip. Untuck your right toes. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, start to crawl down again. Maybe your forearms come to the ground, maybe your chest comes to the ground. And just pay attention to your left glute here. Maybe it'll feel nice to sit on a little pillow if it feels really intense on that opening. And just breathe into it, relax into it. Two more breaths. And gently walk all the way up towards your hands. Now, lift or tuck your right toes, lift your hips up a little bit and slide your left knee to the middle of the mat. And then tuck your right knee behind your left knee. Your feet go wider than your hips, and then sit your butt down, not on any of your feet or ankles, but in between them. If you're like, that is not happening today, this is where, again, sitting on a pillow or a block is going to be super helpful for you. And tuck your seat down, really try to get it grounded on whatever surface you're with here. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine forward, and exhale, start to walk yourself forward and fold. And you really don't have to move very much here or in any of these postures to feel the benefit of the opening and of the stretch. It may be even a shift of 2 inches or less. And if you feel that, then there's nothing wrong with that. Stick with it. I like to let the weight of my body rest on my thighs here to push my legs down a little further. Even bringing my chin to the top of my knee can help me deepen this opening. Adho Mukha, cow face pose. Two more breaths. Lifting all the way up. Swing the left leg up and back. If you have a block behind you, push it to the side. Plant your hands, tuck your left toes, three-legged down dog. Extend your right leg to the sky. Open up your hip, bend your right knee to the ceiling. Just for a breath, inhale. And down dog, exhale. If you feel like flushing it out with a float, you're always more than welcome to. And when you're ready to meet up with us, take an inhale and step your left foot in between the hands. Lower your right knee, exhale. And then inhale, walk your hands up towards that left knee. Breathe into the front of that right hip flexor. Try to relax it, try to release those super tight, gritty areas. Full inhale. And lower your hands on the inside of that left foot with an exhale. Oh, actually, sorry, framing the left foot. Half splits to start, Ardha Hanuman. Send your hips back. Now keep your left toes pointed. Don't lift your toes off the ground if possible. And then pull that left hip back. Try to straighten your left leg as much as possible. Woo. Should feel that along the top of your shin, down the foot. If you're a runner, that should be a really nice stretch for the front of that chin, or even if you're not, it'll feel good. Option to fold forward. And keep that left leg pretty straight here. Untuck your toes, pull that left hip back, flex your toes, like actively lift the toes to the ceiling. And then again, feel free to fold. Take an inhale, bend into your left knee with an exhale. Heel toe your left foot a little wider than your hand. Sink your hips low. And start to bend your elbows, eventually maybe dropping the forearms to the ground. I really needed this one today. Two more breaths. Try to stay with that stillness. Really let yourself slow down some days. Walk your hands up. Tuck your right toes. Lift the back knee. Shift to your Skandasana side lunge. So drop your right heel. Turn your right knee to the other edge of your mat. Left leg straightens. Right knee bends. And then flex your left toes nice and high towards the ceiling. Push your right pinky toe down, slight engagement of your glutes. So you think about your legs trying to really open up rather than letting them collapse inwards, which is what they'll probably prefer to do. Bring your right hand down the inside of the right leg. Left bicep beside the left ear. Take an inhale. Exhale, all you do is switch your arms to the other side. Don't let that right knee move inwards. Keep it open wide. Take an inhale. And exhale, bring your hands to frame your right leg. Okay, tuck your left toes. Turn back to the original way you were facing. Pigeon pose. Drop your shin down so your knee comes to your mat. Shuffle your leg back. Take an inhale. Set yourself up with a block under your right butt cheek if you need to. And exhale, drop your forearms down. Settle and relax. One more breath. And walk your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your left toes. Slide your right knee to the middle of the mat. And then tuck your left knee behind it. Your feet go wide. Drop your bum down in between the ankles. Stack those knees. Take a deep inhale. Sit nice and tall. Option, slide that pillow underneath your seat. And then exhale, collapse or fold on top of your legs. If you find yourself getting a little bored or finding it hard to stay in stillness for just a few breaths, it's okay. It can be difficult and some days will differ, right? But try to bring your attention inwards and just breathe. Focus on your breath. Maybe even just paying attention to the noise of your breath or lengthening your breath. Give yourself that time. Good, and then come all the way up with an inhale. Exhale, slide your right leg back, tuck your right toes at the back of the mat, plant your hands, three-legged down dog, left leg lifts. Open up your hip, bend your left knee to the sky. Take an inhale, and exhale, relax your left foot down. Bring your knees about mat width apart. Take an inhale, bring your hips, yes, walk your hands a little more forward. Bring your hips forward and then drop your hips to the ground. So we're in a little froggy position. And then widen your knees, wider than your mat. And you want to slide your hips back until you find that place where you do feel an opening for your own body here. Stack one hand on top of the other. You can rest your forehead on it or one cheek onto your hands. And again, just like the start of class, let the weight of your body relax. Two more breaths. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Close your knees. Feet point to the sky. Push into your hands. Take a deep inhale. Lift your chest up. And then exhale, child's pose. Hips to heels at the back of the mat. Bring your knees together for this one. And let your arms fall beside you and your forehead rest on the ground. And that is where we'll be closing today. So if you enjoy my practice, feel free to check out the other ones. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you have not checked out my meditation yet, it is in the link in my bio. So feel free to check those out as well. And we'll see you guys next week.